Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's edition of Biz Talks. My name is Fred Holmes. I'm an independent distributor with Zija International, and it's my privilege to welcome you this evening to my home office. Glad you could all drop by. What we do here on Thursday evenings for Biz Talks, this broadcast is actually really intended for those of you that have been invited as a guest. Perhaps a friend or maybe a neighbor, colleague, coworker has been sharing some information with you about Zija International. Maybe you're one of our customers using some of our products, or maybe you're looking for a way to create, an additional income stream, working, your own hours from home. Certainly, that's what I've been able to do. Whatever the reason that you were invited here, certainly a very warm welcome to you. What we're going to do this evening is a couple of things real quick over the next several minutes. I'm going to introduce you to the concept of a home-based business, something in that can create, additional income that can over time become quite substantial, and most importantly become leveraged residual income, something that they never taught me about in school, and frankly, most people never understood the concept of residual income. We're going to share with you a little bit about our company, Zija International, and why this company not only has it already exceeded all but maybe 1% of the companies in our market space, network marketing, is destined to become the next billion-dollar legacy company. We'll share a little bit about our company, our products, the timing that we have right now as we're, heading through the balance of 2018. But what I want to do mostly this evening is introduce you to one of the, if you will, kind of the legacy members of Zija, Doug and Amy Stroup. They are woven into the fabric of this company. And I want you to hear from somebody that's taken this opportunity and done something with it that is truly quite extraordinary. And so just briefly, our company, Zija International, we are a business that's located in Utah. Our company actually launched a little over 10 years ago, but the real Zija story started a few years before that. In 2002, there was a documentary that aired on the Discovery Channel talking about a botanical, a tree, if you will, by the name of Moringa oleifera. And what this documentary introduced us to was, truly one of the gifts from the creator, the Moringa oleifera tree. They were describing it as the most nutrient-rich botanical ever studied by mankind. Complete nutrition, in balance, everything the body needed. 36 anti-inflammatory properties, 46 antioxidant properties. All of the omegas, 3, 6, and 9. All of the essential amino acids that are necessary for the body, and most importantly, in balance and in the way nature intended it. And this documentary, a videotape copy of this was forwarded to a gentleman by the name of Ken Brailsford. Now, you may not recognize Ken's name, but you already know who he is. Ken is known as the father of encapsulation. He was the first person to take medicinal herbs, put them into the little gel caps we're all familiar with, to make it easier for the average person to be able to consume the benefits of medicinal herbs. Ken Brailsford and his siblings started his very first company in the early 70s. The name of the company is Nature's Sunshine. Many of you will recognize that company's name. That company today has been in business over 40 years, approaching 45 years. It has become one of the network marketing companies, profession's legacy companies. There's only a couple of dozen companies that have stood the test of time in this industry. And when we talk about a legacy company, we talk about a company that's been in business over 20 years, achieved $1 billion in sales, continues on to this day. Ken Brailsford is actually the man that's created 2 of those approximately 24, maybe 30 companies. Ken went on in the 80s and developed a company by the name of Enrich International, and many of you will recognize that company as well. Today it continues under the name of Unicity. Now, Ken had gone into retirement from the profession when he was introduced to this botanical, the Moringa oleifera tree, through that video. And in Ken's words, he was spiritually prompted to come out of retirement, to bring this product to market. And that was the genesis of Zija International. Now today, we're approaching, I believe, our 12th anniversary coming up here soon. Zija International has grown from a very small company marketing a single product, our original Moringa drink, our smart drink. And we've expanded over the years to become literally the envy of most of the companies in this market space. Today, we have achieved things that, less than 1% of the companies that have ever existed in network marketing have been able to accomplish. We're approaching $1 billion in cumulative sales. We have a completely 100% vertically integrated infrastructure. We own the plantations our raw materials are grown in. We own the NSF certified pharmaceutical grade manufacturing facility that produces our products. We're literally, a couple of 100,000 square feet of manufacturing, distribution, warehousing, Class A office spaces. We're a company that looks like it's a $1 billion a year company, yet we're only a very small fraction of that sales. What that talks about is timing. And when you can combine, a corporate leadership that has at the helm of the ship Ken Brailsford, a man who's done things that nobody has ever done from a corporate perspective in the network marketing profession. When you have products that meet recognized needs, and over the years we've expanded from our Moringa nutritional products. We now have natural energy products, a natural weight loss program. We've expanded into several other, leading edge market divisions, product divisions. We have a complete line. We are first to market with clinical grade essential oils. Now, the essential oil market space, that's well over $1 billion a year with just two companies, creating most of that volume. And we're the only people that are delivering clinical grade, the quality and purity that's used in essential oils for research, yet direct to the consumer. We've expanded into we are now the only all natural, healthy sports nutrition line. When you look at the nutritional supplementation industry as a whole, the fastest growing segment of, that market space is sports nutrition. Just look at the store shelves at any of the big box, GNC and, the Vitamin Shop. Yet when you look at the products that are involved in there, artificial colorants, artificial sweeteners, soy-based proteins, most of it, frankly, is garbage. What we're bringing to the market space is a complete line of all natural, healthy products. When you look at quality and purity, one of the things that you'll start to recognize is who's identifying our products as being products that are worth using. Recently, we had several of our products added to the Physician's Desk Reference, the PDR. That is phenomenal that nutritional supplementation products information is now being included in that, most important document for the medical profession. We recently received NSF certification of our plant protein products, something that just really doesn't happen in the nutritional market space and certainly in the network marketing space. We've completely, dominated now the personal care product line. Every single thing people need, skin care, hair care, toothpaste, deodorant. The list goes on and on. What that means for you as an individual who might be looking for a way to generate additional income, or maybe transition from a supplemental income with in a part-time home-based business to a full-time income. Maybe what you're looking for is a way to create financial security, financial independence, but do it on your terms, not having to be at the beck and call of an employer or a company or the county or what have you. When you put all that together with the corporate team that we have, the products that we have, and now the timing, being able to have everything in place, yet being ahead of the major growth curve, ahead of the masses, while we are truly one of the legacy companies in the making, nobody knows us. You talk to 100 people, and I'd be surprised if you found more than one, and that would be rare, that's even heard the name Zija. And so with that in place, what I want to do is I want to introduce you to a gentleman by the name of Doug Stroup. Doug, I'm going to be bringing you over to this side of the conversation. Doug Stroup, Doug and his wife Amy, I've known them now for a number of years. Doug and Amy Stroup are really part of the fabric of the natural health revolution. Hey, Doug, welcome. Let me unmute you here real quick, buddy. Where are you, man? Looks like you're in your car.
I am in my car, Fred. You know what? You can do this business no matter where you're at. Take it with you everywhere you go.
That's great, Doug. Yeah, and you know, Doug brings up a good point. Everybody does the Zija business in their own way because that's what it's designed to be. It's designed to be a way to create what everybody needs. Everybody needs income. Many people are looking for ways to go beyond just making a living, to being able to have a lifestyle, to create financial security, maybe even financial abundance. But the key is to allow this business to work around your life, not make it your life. And for me, I do this from home. My primary focus in life, I care for my 92-year-old mother. And so this is very much a home-based business. 99% of what I do is done from home because of the needs to be here with mom. Doug, on the other hand, you've got, you know, 4 active girls, and I know you're all over the place with the girls, you and Amy. I think you're heading off to vacation here, and look at you joining the call from your car. Well, good for you, Doug. Listen, Doug, and I'm not sure when you got on the broadcast. I was sharing with the folks a little bit about the 3 magical ingredients that makes, you know, Zija International truly the go-to opportunity for people for, you know, this particular decade and on. You know, our company, I know you've met all of the corporate leaders. You're part of, you know, woven into the fabric of Zija International now, you know, our products, and then the timing. But what I'd like to do, especially for the people that are just kind of being introduced to what we're doing, maybe you could start out, share a little bit about your story, share a little bit about, you know, where you and Amy were in your life when you were first introduced to Zija a few years ago.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks, Fred, for having me on tonight. It's always a great time to be a part of this call, and you know, we just want to make a difference in as many people's lives as we can. So hopefully, sharing our story tonight, we'll be able to help somebody out there. So going way back to a little bit of background, I was first introduced to the network marketing industry when I was 19 years old. I first heard about it and I was very intrigued. I thought, wow, that's something I really want to look into. It sounded awesome to me. You know, just hearing about good quality product and hearing about residual income sounded like, yeah, I want to hear more about this, right? So when I was 19, I was introduced to it. Fast forward to July of 2009. I had been in and out of 4 or 5 different companies over the years since I was 19. I'm 53 now. I'll be 54 in just a couple of weeks. So I've been involved in this industry all of these years, just, you know, in and out of a few different companies. I have been at top leadership of other companies as well. And then, you know, changes were made, whatever, bad decisions made, and I found it falling out from under me. But I had not found Zija until July of 2009. And at that time, Fred, Amy and I were in survival mode. It was a very, very difficult time for us. As they say, didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. But somehow we understood the power of moringa. And with my background in this industry, I understood if you find the right company with the right products, the right leadership, all those things, compensation plan, timing, all of that, if you find that company, well, the money's going to track you down and you're going to be able to create the powerful residual income because all the elements are there. And that's what we found in Zija. We jumped on board July of 2009. I did a lot of research. I kind of came in a little bit kicking and screaming, you know, holding my arms together, crossing my arms, you know, like, I'm not quite sure at that point. But the more research I did, the more I found out about all of those things that you just shared at the top of this call. I remember, Fred, telling myself I would be an absolute just crazy man not to become a part of this company. Why? Because it's what we were looking for. And there's a lot of people out there looking. So, folks, everything that you're looking for is wrapped up right here in Zija International. That's what we found. So we jumped on board July of '09 and haven't looked back. It's been an awesome journey.
You know, and I remember those early days speaking with Amy, because Amy got such incredible results on the product. I mean,
Yeah.
she was like inspired to get involved in the business. And we were talking a little bit about yourself and, you know, the history you'd had in network marketing, some of the
Yeah.
challenges from, you know, errors at the corporate level of your previous company.
Right.
And, you know, and my question was, you know, well, is your husband going to be on board with you being in a different company? And she said, yes, he will support me. Now, I'm not 100% sure that what that meant.
Well, I did support her, and I told her that. I told her that right out of the gate. If you think this is the right way, the direction that we should take right now, I'll support you. It didn't mean I was going to help her. I was just going to support whatever she was doing in it. But that's when I did my research, and like you said, we got great product results. We already started getting great financial results early on in the first few months, just because we were telling everybody in the world, especially Amy was. And then, you know, I jumped on fully in January of 2010 to be able to work this together as a team. And again, it's just been an amazing journey for us both.
You know, you hit on something, Doug, and I kind of want to just key on that for a moment. You said you did the research, and the more you learn, I think the phrase you used is, you'd be a crazy man not to get involved.
Well, I actually called myself an idiot, but I didn't want to say that on this call.
Oh, no, don't say idiot. Yeah, you don't want to use that word. You know, it's kind of interesting because I recall being introduced. You know, it was before you. I was, you know, I'd been retired from the industry for a long, long time. Really wasn't looking for an opportunity, and then I was approached on this. And I remember talking with my mom back then about it, and the comment I made was, with me or without me, this company was going to be something special. The people that were involved were certainly going to, you know, we're going to make a fortune. But mostly what really intrigued me was an opportunity to be part of the development of the character of a company in this profession. Something that you can be proud of, you know, to introduce people, introduce them to the product, and then also be in an environment where, you know, long after, because I mean, you know, you're a young man to me, but we still think about these things. What about the children? What about the grandchildren? When we're gone and we can't take care of them, our income can continue on and on and on. So, Doug, this is always the question somebody looking at our business wants to know. What did you guys do, you know, day one to get off to a fast start?
Well, you know, we found out that there's a system already in place. And so why try to reinvent the wheel, so to speak, and just, you know, do things our own way when we found out there's a system in place? And so invitation, presentation, validation, we started doing all of those things, and we began to kind of pique the interest of people, right? We would share the product with them. We'd share the opportunity. We'd share the financial freedom that they could gain simply by, you know, consuming these products personally and then share them with other people, all those. And we didn't let anybody cross our paths without letting them know that, at least let them know this opportunity is available. Now, there's never any pressure in that, right? We never pressured anybody. We just let them know it's available. And then the decision was up to them, right? We would pass along them a tool, which is all part of the system. Could be a video, could be a document, some documentation, could be the product itself. And many times it was a combination of all of those, and it still is today, right? So then they can make an educated decision. And then you plug them in with a team member, right? That's the third step of the system. So they can validate that information that you've already shared with your prospect. Fred, that's what we did at the beginning. That's what we continue to do. And we find that the more people do the system that's already in place, the quicker and the more successful that they become.
Now, I recall, and I appreciate you saying that, Doug, because I know for a lot of people, especially people that maybe have been very successful in their careers, they've got years of education, years of tenure in their profession, and they're thinking, well, to be able to make 2 and 3 times what I'm accustomed to, it's got to be 2 or 3 times harder. And really, that's what we've learned, is that the key to, you know, the highest levels of success is to keep it very simple, keep it very duplicatable, say less to more people, care more about, you know, your new distributor's paycheck than you care about your own. All the things that really resonate with, you know, my belief system. I know certainly because of my, you know, long time relationship with you and Amy resonate with your,
Hmm.
personal philosophy on life, on how to be successful, create success in others.
Yes.
And I'm not really talking out of school here, folks. Doug and I we've become really close friends. But in the early days of Zija, you weren't kidding, Doug, when you said you guys were, struggling with, the previous company and the reduction in income. I know you started with some product that was Zija, and I know it was a real struggle to come up with the money for the product. Uh,
Yes.
there was a time where Doug was praying over the van with 250,000 miles on it, throwing Amy and the girls in there and heading down the boulevard to go do a meeting for some new
Yeah.
distributor, and praying that the van would get them there.
That's right. That's right.
I called it flying in on a wing and a prayer. Things
Literally.
really come a long ways for you, Doug. Maybe you can speak for a moment a little bit to what has happened after you committed the time to building your Zija business. What has happened for you and the family from a financial perspective?
Well, obviously, to be able to create financial freedom it's an amazing part of anybody's story, right? Because that gives you the time freedom to do the things really that's in your heart, right? Everybody has those things that they kind of put on a back burner, put up on the shelf because they think I'll never have enough time freedom or financial freedom to do those things. And yet those things are still in everybody's heart. And so one thing that has happened for us, we've been able to spend a lot more family time together. When mom and dad are both home most of the time, right? Because we're building most of this business from home, especially now with the Zoom platform and the webinars and all that. You can be anywhere around the world right here, sitting in my car, or at home or wherever it is. So it's just been an amazing journey. And obviously, when you can hit Black Diamond, that means you've helped a whole lot of people, any of the high leadership levels. And while doing that, while putting others first, making a difference in other people's lives, you're able to establish a wonderful, life-changing platform for yourself and foundation, for me and Amy, but also for our children and their future. And so that's just been an amazing part of it as well. I do have some personal things, right, that have happened along the way. I don't know if we'll get to that tonight, but I guess it's fine to go ahead and go into that.
Sure, absolutely, Doug. We
Yeah,
got a couple
I
minutes
just
left.
want to, all right, I just want to say that just briefly. Many people know that 3 years ago, I was doing a century ride on my bicycle, and I had a cycling accident that resulted in a traumatic brain injury. And so for me, it was a very, very difficult time. Well, not just for me, but for my wife and for my family, and watching me go through all of that to recover from a TBI, traumatic brain injury, is a very, very difficult time in life. Found myself flat on my back. And yet, through all that time, the different neurologists and my chiropractor and the ENTs, all the different doctors and all that literally were figuring out what was going on and putting me back together. It takes time for the brain to recover. And there's a couple of big, big pieces to my story. One is Amy or my children would be bringing in our super mix product, our moringa based products of nutrition, along with some of the fitness line products. And that she would be making me and helping me to drink that at least 3 times a day. And I know that was aiding in my quicker recovery. I also knew that as my mind began to be able to think again on things, how the peace that I felt, Fred, in knowing that my family was being taken care of, even though I was not able to work. Because of the foundation that we had already laid and all the people that we had already helped prior to my accident, I literally remember laying there in the bed because the world just would not stop spinning around me from my injury. I couldn't get up because I'd fall over. I couldn't work. I couldn't talk on the phone. And yet I had the peace knowing the residual income was coming every Friday. Our needs were already taken care of, even though I couldn't work. And so we are so grateful for Zija International, not only from a health standpoint, but also from the financial freedom standpoint. And that's the opportunity people have. They can create that for themselves.
You know, Doug, I appreciate you sharing that, because not everybody's life, goes the way we planned it, but we can plan to make sure that no matter what happens in life, certain foundational things will never be an issue, like having enough money. Doug, can't tell you how much I appreciate you being able to join us tonight. I know you got a lot of things going on. You're getting ready for the big family vacation. And thanks for a few minutes and joining us on the broadcast this evening.
All right. Thanks for having me, Fred.
I'm going to let Doug go back. And boy, folks, I'll tell you what, being able to have partners like Doug and Amy Stroup in a business like this, people of genuine character, that mirrors the character that we want to bring as individuals to our business, to have a company that maintains that same level of character, both in terms of the integrity of working with the distributor base, integrity in the products, and integrity in the future vision. These are all things that make so much of the fabric of Zija International, why it's just so much more than just a home-based business. What I want to do in closing, in particular for those of you that are invited guests, as you were listening to Doug, one of the comments that he made is that and it started with Amy, got tremendous results on the product. And when they made a decision to engage in the business, they made that decision, they purchased some products, but the real key is they went to work following a simple system. So in closing, I want to do two things. If you're here for the first time, or maybe, the second or third time, you're still trying to decide, do these things, folks. If you haven't experienced the products, use our products. You'll understand why this company has grown so successfully over such a long period of, over 10 years now. The person asked you to be part of the broadcast, or maybe they directed you to the video replay. Maybe you're watching the recording. They'll help you use our products. Get on the products, find out for yourself why this company's destined to go to $1 billion a year company. Some of you are going to be ready to get involved. Maybe you've got some questions about what do you need to do to be successful with what we're doing. The person that asked you to be part of this will help you get in, and follow a simple system. Step 1, get in as a distributor. Step 2, get trained. And step 3, get going. And for those of you that are ready to make that decision, Saturday morning, 10 o'clock Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have a very special new distributor training broadcast. One of our fastest growing, rising stars in Zija, Candace Smiley, is going to be our guest trainer on that particular broadcast. You're going to want to tune in and hear what she has done. She is a busy mother, has a 3-year-old daughter, and she has created a residual income that is allowing her to be at home with her daughter, and yet creating an income with an international business. And there is no doubt you're going to want to be able to be part of that. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out tonight's broadcast. The recording will be up on the YouTube channel here shortly. One more time, shout out to Doug and Amy Stroup. Appreciate everything you've done for all of Zija Nation. And thank you, Doug, for joining us this evening. With that, have a wonderful evening. Good night. And, I'm not going to be able to cue this up very quick. So I'll just skip the musical interlude as we're leaving. Have a wonderful evening. We'll look forward to seeing you on Saturday morning. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.